obviously we have different perspectives about reality. You have within your worldview, or maybe coloring your entire worldview, is this idea that a God exists, particularly the God as represented in the Bible, and I do not. Now, considering that we have a different view about this, what is the best method to resolve that, to come to some agreement about what is truth?
Well, I don't know if you could put your finger on what is truth. I can, as a Christian, I can say I found absolute truth. Jesus said, I am the truth. And I don't know if any atheist can point to some atheist that said that, or point to anything that you can say this is absolute reality. For you, the whole thing could be an illusion.
So, Ray, I could do that right now, but you wouldn't believe me.
Okay,
yeah.
give me a try.
Okay. I am the way. Everything I say is true.
Yeah, okay.
So,
now resurrect yourself from the dead and I'll believe you.
Well, how do you know that happened?
Well, the thing is, for a Christian, we're not going by a belief. We're going by the power of God. Before I was a Christian, I believed in Jesus. I believed that he was an historical figure. But on the night of my conversion, I came to know him, whom the Bible says to know is life eternal.
Sure. So, but from an external point of view, we're still dealing with a claim. You are making an appeal to some experience that you've had, which testifies to the reality of it for you. And what I'm asking is, absent that experience, how could anybody else possibly know? Could they be justified?
Well, that's a good question. It's like if you didn't believe in electricity because you can't see it, hear it, touch it, taste, or smell it.
Believe in what? Sorry?
If you didn't believe in electricity.
Oh.
Because it's an invisible force. And I said, yeah, hey, take this fork, stick up this light socket, and you'll more than believe. You'll experience his power. And that's what happens when someone truly becomes a Christian. They move out of the realm of intellect into the realm of personal experience. They don't just believe, they know experientially about the power of God, and that's the power that God puts behind the gospel.
Now, wait a minute. I want to back up a minute, because you said that it would move out of the realm of intellect, but that makes it not a good analogy to electricity, like you just said, right? Because the realm of intellect is exactly how we know all the details of how electricity works.
Yeah, but you don't experience it. There's a difference between an intellectual acknowledgement, electricity is real, and actually feeling its power through your body.
Right. So you're still appealing to the primary, I guess, the primary proof, for lack of a better word, is direct experience. And I'm just asking you, are you then conceding that absent that direct experience, people wouldn't be justified in believing?
No, not when it comes to the existence of God. All you need is eyes that can see it, a brain that works. You look at creation and say there's a creator. But what atheists do, or should I say the new atheists or contemporary atheists, they say there's no creation. That denotes a creator, and that denotes a moral responsibility. So we just call it nature. And nature created itself, which is unreasonable, makes no sense. Something cannot create itself.
Yes, that statement is nonsensical. Nature created itself. There's a number of errors in grammar there. You can't just call something creation in order to say, I'm going to call this creation, therefore it had to have a creator. Obviously, if it's a creation, it had to have a creator.
Right.
But it's not necessarily creation. You haven't demonstrated that. You've just simply asserted that it's a creation. And the thing that you're objecting to about saying nature created itself, that's more of a grammatical problem, because the idea isn't that nature created itself as some kind of thoughtful act. It's that that existence doesn't necessarily require the creator that you claim it does.
Well, you tell me what was in the beginning without saying I don't know.
Well, why can't I say I don't know?
Because that's ignorance, and you can't have that as an atheist.
Well, yes, you can, because atheists aren't asserting absolute certainty or knowledge or any of that stuff.
Well, Christians do, because they know that there's a creation and there's a creator.
Sure, but
asserting
knowledge is different from demonstrating that this knowledge is true.
Well, you see, I don't need to demonstrate to a reasonable person that a painting had a painter.
Right. Do you know why?
Tell me why.
Because we recognize that a painting had a painter, not because it's complex, not because it's ordered. We recognize this from experience. All evidence points to this thing having or being designed. Okay, we recognize design by contrasting it with what is naturally occurring. And that's why you can hold up a painting and a tree side by side, and you would say, oh, the painting is obviously the creation of an intelligent mind, because we have no examples of paintings coming into existence on their own. We have no examples of paintings being able to reproduce. All evidence, we have millions of examples of paintings created by thinking minds. So all of the evidence points to this. The contrast, though, is that trees do naturally reproduce, as do people and living things. We have a good understanding of how planets form out of accretion disks from suns. Those things are naturally occurring. That contrast between naturally occurring and created is something that is how we determine whether or not something was designed.